welcome to my channel. I usually start my vegetable garden chores during spring. So this time it's still kind of cooler and I usually go outside when it's warmer temperature. We have like 3 different temperatures during spring and even on winter. On this video, I would like to share with you all some of the gardening tips that I've learned through the years. So this is my 6th year of gardening here in the USA. Although I have planted some vegetables and flowers back in the Philippines, but here it is different. And I'm proud to say that most of these vegetables are award-winning and the participants come from different countries. 3 years ago, I made a mistake of making some tarp as my weed barrier and it developed more slugs. That's why I'm trying to get rid of the slugs and I am hoping that this will be effective this year. Now, if you had been following my videos, beside this vegetable garden are my chickens. So we have a tunnel that the chickens could access going through the garden and I could close it anytime I wanted. And because I am doing an organic gardening, I don't want to spray anything that would possibly harm or harmful chemicals to kill the weeds. And I had been making hand pulls on all the weeds, but I cannot keep up with all these things during summer because I also have other parts of the garden. Although my chickens will eat the grass and scratch the ground, there are certain types of grass that they don't like to eat, especially if it's already rooted. Those thorny plants, and they usually eat just the young leaves. Every year I make an experiment and make some notes every time I have noticed anything on my garden. On top of the snails and slug problems on my garden, some of these weeds multiply fast. That is why I still have to hand pull it. If you notice the bare spots of the garden, those are the walkway from previous gardening season that we put mulch. I have 3 or 4 of these hens that are really friendly and will even be excited if I till the garden and they come right away and steal the earthworms. And I can even pet these hens. These are from our 3rd and 4th batches of chicks that we bought in Tractor Supply.
Oh, look at that one. Even my ducks are here. Good girls.
During this day, I only have 6 weeks left before planting of vegetables. That is why I decided to put this tarp so that it will help me suppress the weeds. Because on that area, those are the thistles that grow. So I put some cages on the pots where I will be planting my better melon. By the way, I live in Temple, Georgia, USA, so my planting zone is planting zone 7B. So I usually plant my vegetables on Mother's Day. When planting tomatoes, it has to be deeper. Then I remove the excess soil. I put on fresh eggs, espuma plantain, worm castings, and more crushed egg shells. Remember to soak your seedlings first before replanting them, and you have to remove the branches or leaves that touches the ground, even the suckers. This also applies on peppers and eggplants. Crushed eggshells gives calcium nutrients to your tomatoes and peppers that prevents end rot. This will also prevent slugs from getting inside or eating my newly planted or transplanted tomatoes and peppers. Then I put mulch on top of it to retain moisture because they like to have enough moisture. And it has to be pretty consistent. After 1 to 2 months, I put more amendments on my vegetables depending on the weather. Like if it rains constantly, then I put more crushed eggshells, grass clippings, and more. I will be giving more updates or maybe a live stream for that. I keep the labels of the seedlings that I planted because that will also tell me how long I will be getting a harvest, the spacing, and if it's determinate or indeterminate type of tomatoes. Then I just put that on the side of the cage so that I will know someday that this is the variety of the tomatoes. And this time we're going to clean the part where we're going to plant our watermelons and sweet potatoes. I also put some black tarp on this area to kill the weeds, but oh my god, they are just so hard to kill, and even the roots are still there and alive, so we have to dig this. But that is better though than just pulling the weeds by hand, because I will not have enough time to have all of this cleaned up by myself. So this is 1 week before Mother's Day. By the way, the tomatoes were planted 1 week before Mother's Day. So when your tomatoes start to have some flowers, you need to remove some more excess leaves, especially the suckers, so that it will focus on the fruiting or producing some fruits. Now with the other vegetables like loofah, okra, string beans, ampalaya, I soak the seeds in warm water at least 12 hours before planting them on the ground. So aside from flowers as pollinators, I also plant some herbs, especially citronella, lemongrass, and nasturtium. That is to prevent from other pests and disease from coming into my garden. Just in time also, my order of Okinawan or Japanese sweet potatoes also just arrived. So I ordered 4 dozens and I got free calamansi. So this is from Arizona, USA. In planting sweet potatoes, I use string to have a straight line in the area. It is easier to water, and also when I'm harvesting, it's easier to kind of estimate that's where I planted them. And I planted them about 15 to 20 inches apart. And I use auger again to make some holes. And of course, I put some fresh eggs along with its shells as the first fertilizer of my sweet potatoes. If you haven't tried putting eggs in your vegetable, you should try it. Then after that, I put some pine straw to retain moisture as we will be traveling in a few days after planting this. I also put some pine straw on my string beans and also on my ampalaya. Thank you all for watching. Please don't forget to leave a comment, like, and share this video. Bye y'all!